You ever look around your house and feel buried? By stuff, by noise, by too much of everything? The Amish, they live different. Simpler, cleaner, not just in how they live, but in how they feel. And these 10 rules they follow, they might just fix more than your home. They might fix your life. Let's go back to a place where less meant peace, where slower meant better. This is Rustic Pantry, and you're about to see how the Amish do it different. 1. They don't rush. Ever. You ever watched an Amish man walk across a field? It's slow, deliberate, almost like he's got all the time in the world. And maybe he does. Because for the Amish, there's no race, no rush, no grind culture bleeding into every hour of the day. They don't scramble, don't sprint through chores. They rise before the sun, yes, but they don't speed through things just to check off a list. You won't see them multitasking dinner while checking their phone while yelling at the kids. Instead, it's one thing at a time. A rhythm, a calmness that seeps into their bones. And the wild part? Everything still gets done. Somehow, some way, by sundown, the barn's swept, the bread's baked, the cow's milked. But without chaos. This kind of slowness, it ain't laziness. It's wisdom. We forget that. In our world, fast is glorified. But the Amish remind us sometimes slow is sacred. 2. Meals aren't just about food. Here's a thing most people don't get till they've sat at an Amish table. Meals aren't rushed, ain't loud. There's laughter, yes, but no TV in the background. No forks clinking against scrolling phones. It's just people, present, sharing, talking about crops or cows or Cousin Eli's new baby. Bread is passed by hand, butter's homemade, and when grace is said, it's real. Not for show, just a quiet moment before the first bite. And when you eat like that, really eat, something shifts. You taste the food. The room feels warmer. The people closer. In Amish life, the table is a sacred space. And it teaches a rule that's easy to forget. Meals aren't just calories. They're connection. Doesn't matter if you're in a farmhouse or a studio apartment. Eat slow. Sit with someone. Light a candle. Put the phone down. That's minimalism too. 3. They don't entertain themselves to death. Now this one might sting a little, but it's true. The Amish don't spend their evenings scrolling YouTube or binge watching 10 episodes straight. You know what they do? They talk. They sew. They sit on the porch swing and watch the sky turn orange. Some play music, fiddle, banjo, accordion. Others just sit. Sound boring, huh? But it's not. It's quiet, simple, deep. And here's the kicker. They don't feel like they're missing anything. They ain't constantly craving the next big thrill, next episode, next click. Their entertainment is life. Relationships, weather, the rhythm of wind through corn stalks. It's so different from our overstimulated world. But maybe, just maybe, it's better. Because when you stop filling every second with noise, you start hearing your own thoughts again. 4. Work and life ain't separate things. You go to work. You come home. That's how it goes, right? Not for the Amish. For them, life is work. And work is life. You milk cows with your kids. Hang laundry with your sister. Bake bread with your mom. There ain't this huge divide between 9 to 5 and real life. It all blends together. And because of that, there's less resentment, less burnout, more togetherness. Now sure, most of us can't just quit and move to a farm. But there's a lesson here anyway. Maybe we stop seeing work as the enemy. Start folding in small joys. Light music, family help, purpose. Maybe work doesn't have to be this thing we dread. Maybe it can be slow, shared, even sacred. That's how they do it. And man, it works. 5. They leave space. In their homes and in their heads. Walk into an Amish home. You'll notice it right away. Space. Not empty in a sad way. Empty in a peaceful one. Nothing shoved in corners. No clutter on counters. just space to breathe. And funny thing is that space does something to you. It calms you, slows your thoughts, makes room inside your mind too. And that's the point. They don't just clear physical clutter, they protect their mental space. No blaring music, no endless notifications, no piles of stuff screaming for attention. It's not about aesthetic minimalism. It's about internal quiet. And when you live with that kind of intentional space, you're different. You sleep deeper, think clearer, feel more. Most of us, we're drowning in stuff. But the Amish? They float in space. 6, they don't fear missing out. FOMO, fear of missing out, it eats people alive. Makes us chase every event, every gadget, every update. But the Amish? They're missing everything. They don't go to concerts, don't fly to Italy, don't attend marketing seminars, or download the latest productivity app. And guess what? They don't care. They know what matters. Faith, family, work, land. They're not distracted by the 10,000 things the world screams at them to want. They've already decided. And there's a strange power in that. A kind of freedom most of us have never tasted. It ain't that they're backward. It's that they're grounded, rooted. And when you stop fearing what you're missing, you finally notice what you've got. 7, they build everything to last. Ever seen an Amish barn? Those things stand for decades, maybe longer. Same with their furniture. Sturdy, thick, built by hand. No shortcuts, no particle board, just real wood and real time. And this rule, build to last, ain't just about hammers and nails. It's a mindset. They don't buy shoes that'll wear out in a year. They don't redo their kitchen every 5 years to keep up with trends. When they make something, they expect it to serve for life. And maybe we should too. Maybe instead of replacing things constantly, we invest once. In quality, in permanence, in patience. It's slower, but man, it's better. 8, they don't own more than they can maintain. Here's the part most people miss. The Amish don't just own less for the sake of it. They own less because they know everything you own owns a piece of you. If you buy a car, now you gotta clean it, insure it, maintain it. Buy a lawn, now you mow it. Own a big house, that's 100 little tasks a week. They know the trap, that owning too much costs time, energy, peace. So they keep it lean. A small house, a small wardrobe, a small toolbox. But it's enough. It's always enough. And in the end, that's the heart of minimalism. Not what you lack, but what you've freed yourself from. 9, they fix instead of replacing. This one hits hard if you've ever thrown out a toaster just because it sparked once, or tossed a shirt because the sleeve got loose. But the Amish, they don't do that. They fix, patch, mend. They'll sit by lamplight, needle in hand, sewing up a pair of trousers that most folks would have trashed. Not because they can't afford new ones, but because they respect the work that went into the thing. They see value in what already exists. And you know what? That changes how you see your stuff. You treat it gentler, more careful. There's a kind of quiet pride that comes from fixing something yourself. And in a world drowning in disposability, that's rare and beautiful. 10, they don't outsource what they can do themselves. Ever noticed how we hire out everything now? Someone to mow, someone to clean, cook, decorate, even walk our dogs. But the Amish, they live by this rule. If your hand can do it, then do it. They grow their food, sew their clothes, raise their barns. They ain't above getting their hands dirty. And this isn't about money. It's about dignity, ownership. They own their life, fully. And that brings a strange kind of joy, satisfaction, in knowing the bread you're eating, you made it. The chair you're sitting on, you sanded it smooth. We've forgotten that feeling. We chase ease, but maybe, just maybe, we've outsourced too much of our souls. 11, they embrace seasons, not fight them. When it's winter, the Amish rest more. They cook heavier foods, knit, read. When it's summer, they wake earlier, work longer, harvest and preserve. See, they live by the rhythm of nature, not some corporate calendar, not fake productivity pressure. They move with the seasons instead of fighting them, and that teaches something quiet, something we've lost, that you don't have to be on all the time, that it's okay to slow down in the dark months, to rise when the world feels light. They don't hustle year-round. They flow, and somehow they get more done, with less burn, less ache, more grace. 12. They don't worship stuff. Look, let's be honest. Most of us got stuff we treat like gods. Our phones, our cars, the brands we wear. But the Amish? They see stuff for what it is. Tools. Useful, yes. Beautiful sometimes. But never sacred. Never soul-filling. That's a different shelf entirely. And because of that mindset, they're free. Free from envy, from comparison. They don't feel less than just because someone got a newer horse cart or a fancier stove. They know stuff doesn't make a life. People do. Faith does. Purpose. And that kind of clarity, it's worth more than gold. Or whatever Apple's launching next week. 13. They use silence like medicine. Ever sat in a room and felt the silence breathe? No TV buzzing. No music thumping in the background. Just the soft sound of wind. Creaking wood. Distant laughter. That's an Amish home on a quiet night. And it heals. Not in a loud, dramatic way, but slow, deep, like roots growing underground. See, they don't fear silence. They welcome it. Let it stretch out between conversations. Let it live in their mornings. And that silence? It teaches you stuff. Makes space for reflection. Brings things up you buried. We fill our lives with noise. Constant shouting noise. But maybe what we need most is what the Amish already have, quiet. 14. They were the same thing, literally. This might seem extreme to most folks, but it's genius. The Amish don't have fashion anxiety. Don't wake up wondering if their outfit slaps or not. They wear what they always wear. Plain, modest, durable. And in doing that, they strip away so much nonsense. No closet chaos. No, I have nothing to wear meltdowns. No pressure to look on trend. They've already decided, and now they're free to think about stuff that actually matters. And weirdly, this uniformity brings peace, unity, even identity. While the rest of the world drowns in options, they live inside the calm of enough. 15. They don't document, they live. This one cuts deep. No selfies, no Instagram stories, no snapping a pic of every pie or quilt or golden sunset. The Amish live moments without capturing them. And that's wild to most of us. But it's powerful, because when you stop recording, you start experiencing. When you're not thinking, how will this look? You finally feel how it is. The moment becomes real, unfiltered, sacred. We've gotten so good at curating our lives, we forget to live them. But the Amish? They remember. They choose presence over proof. Every time. So, maybe you ain't moving off-grid. Maybe you won't churn butter or wear a bonnet. But you can choose less. You can slow down. And you can take one of these Amish rules and try it. Start with one. Then watch your life breathe again. If this kind of life speaks to you, raw, real, rooted, then hit subscribe. Stick around here at Rustic Pantry. We got more where that came from. See you in the next one. And remember, sometimes less isn't just more. It's everything.